Mai Valentine, Princess of Puns and the Queen of the Harpy Ladies. This fan-favorite femme fatale was last seen during the events of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, where she made the journey from villain to hero and back again. Though unseen since the conclusion of the Orichalco storyline, we know she left to embark upon a journey of self-discovery and fulfillment so she could learn the true value of everybody's favorite card game. So today, we're going to be taking a look at an updated deck profile for this beloved anti-heroine set during the events of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS, exploring what cards she might have been using while Playmaker was playing in the Link VRAINS simulation. Now, Mai is most well known for running multiple copies of the Harpy Lady cards and building her strategy around supporting them. However, these three normal monsters leave a lot to be desired, and the Harpy archetype has grown a lot since the old days. So we'll start by saying that she replaced her three Harpy Ladies with Harpy Ladies 1, 2, and 3. All three of these monsters share the effect of being treated as though their name were simply the original Harpy Lady, meaning we can't actually run copies of any other cards with that name or with this effect in the main deck. In addition to that, Harpy Lady number 1 increases the attack of all wind monsters by 300 points when on the field. Our second Harpy Lady can negate the effect of any flip monsters it destroys. And number 3 prevents any monster it battles from attacking for 2 turns after that battle. These three monsters make up the Harpy Lady Sisters, a higher attack single monster that can only be summoned by comboing one of the sisters with the Elegant Egotist spell card. In addition to the ladies themselves, there are 6 new effect Harpy monsters joining the ranks of Mai's deck, with those being Harpy Channeler, Harpy Dancer, Harpy Harpist, Harpy Oracle, Harpy Perfumer, and Harpy Queen. All 6 of these monsters share the effect that their names become Harpy Lady while on the field or in the graveyard. But, unlike the ladies we just covered, this ability is not in effect while they're in the main deck, which is why Mai can run all of them without breaking the 3 copies rule. Harpy Channeler can be used to special summon other Harpies from the deck, and, when there's a dragon monster on the field, change its level to become 7. Though that isn't necessarily something you'd use in this particular profile. Harpy Dancer lets Mai normal summon a wind monster in exchange for pulling another one that's already on the field back into her hand. Harpy Harpist has 2 effects, both of which work once per turn. When she's summoned, Mai can return 1 monster on each side of the field to the hand, so long as hers is a winged beast monster. And, the turn when this monster is destroyed, its owner can add a level 4 winged beast from the deck to the hand. Harpy Oracle and Harpy Perfumer seem to work as a pair, as their cards face opposite directions and their effects are related. Oracle can special summon itself if the owner controls a level 5 Harpy monster, while Perfumer can be used to source a second copy of a level 5 or higher Harpy monster when it's summoned. Both cards also share the ability to add a card that lists Harpy Lady Sisters in its text to the hand when they're summoned. And Harpy Queen closes out the lot, with the ability to add Harpy's Hunting Ground to the hand in exchange for being discarded to the graveyard. Not a bad bunch. Now, the Harpy Ladies have always been the sort of monsters to enjoy their pets, so we're going to say that Mai probably brought along all 3 of the pet dragons, with those being Harpy's Pet Baby Dragon, Harpy's Pet Dragon, and Harpy's Pet Dragon Fearsome Fire Blast. The baby dragon gains an effect for each additional Harpy monster on the owner's field. With 1 Harpy, it forces itself to become the opponent's only attack target. With 2 Harpies, it also doubles its attack points. And with 3, it can destroy 1 card on the opponent's field per turn. The original Harpy's Pet Dragon starts off with passable attack stats, but gains 300 additional attack and defense points for each Harpy Lady on the field. And the Fearsome Fire Blast upgrade can be special summoned if Mai already has a level 6 or lower Harpy on the field. Once it's there, it protects any such monsters from being attacked, and if it's destroyed, the owner can send 1 winged beast monster from the deck to the grave, which can facilitate a number of Harpy-centric spells and traps. Next, we have a card with one of my favorite names in the game, Birdface. Someone was feeling salty when they named this card, and they just went, yeah, it's a Birdface. When Birdface is destroyed, it can be used to add a Harpy Lady from the deck to the hand. This is a weird card in the archetype, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't like it. And our last monster in the main deck is a little bit of a weird one, the Sky Scout. Now, some of you may be aware that this card was originally printed under a different name, Harpy's Brother, despite not being an official member of the Harpy archetype. Konami renamed it to clear up any confusion, but I didn't know that until I started researching this video. I just remembered it being called Harpy's Brother, and thinking, Mai probably should have had that card. I refuse to change 20 years worth of headcanon for myself, so I'm keeping it. But if you really want to be archetype accurate, you could run Harpy Girl instead. It's just an infinitely less useful card as its attack points are really too low to be of any real use in this deck profile. But I digress. Moving on to spell cards, we'll see a couple of returners from the Duel Monsters era, like Elegant Egotist, Cyber Shield, Harpy's Feather Duster, and Harpy Lady Phoenix Formation. Elegant Egotist, as I mentioned before, is used to special summon Harpy Lady Sisters. Cyber Shield is an equipped spell that boosts a Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady Sisters attack points by 500. Harpy's Feather Duster is a card so good that real-world players are limited to just one copy in their deck. It can be used to destroy all spells and traps currently controlled by the opponent. Use it wisely. And Harpy Lady Phoenix Formation can only be activated if Mai controls 3 Harpy Ladies or Harpy Lady Sisters. Then, for every one of those monsters on her field, she can target one monster on the opponent's field and destroy it. It then inflicts damage to the opponent equal to the attack points of the strongest monster destroyed. As a drawback, Mai can't special summon any monsters or conduct any attacks the turn that this card is used. Then we've got new cards like Alluring Mirror Spirit, Harpy's Feather Rest, Hysteric Sign, and Triangle Ecstasy Spark. Alluring Mirror Spirit can be used to summon a Harpy monster from the deck when a Harpy Lady or Sisters is destroyed by battle. If you use a Harpy card effect to destroy this card, you can special summon another Harpy that's in the grave. Feather Rest can target 3 Harpy Ladies or Sisters in the graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck before allowing Mai to draw 1 card. But if she's got a level 5 or higher Harpy on the field, she can draw 2 cards. As a trade-off, she can't special summon monsters except wind monsters the turn that this card is used, which really isn't an issue in this deck profile. Hysteric Sign is used to add Elegant Egotist from the deck or the graveyard to the hand. At the end of the turn that this card goes to the graveyard, its owner can add 3 Harpies with different names from the deck to the hand. And Triangle Ecstasy Spark raises the attack of all Harpy Lady Sisters on the field to 2700, and negates all enemy traps until the end of the turn. We've also got 3 spell cards, Harpy's Hunting Ground, Divine Wind of Mist Valley, and Rising Air Current. Hunting Ground boosts the attack and defense of all winged beast monsters by 200 points, and allows a player to destroy 1 spell or trap on the field if they summon Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady Sisters. Divine Wind of Mist Valley can be used to special summon a level 4 or lower wind monster if another wind monster was returned to the hand, which can combo well with effects in this deck that send Harpy Lady back to the hand. Then we have Rising Air Current, which is a more generic field that boosts wind monsters' attack by 500 points while taking down their defense by 400 points. So, a bit of a trade-off there. We've also got 4 useful, but more generic spells to include, with those being Forbidden Droplet, Quill Pen of Goidos, Swallow's Nest, and Ties of the Brethren. Forbidden Droplet allows the user to send any number of cards from the hand and field to the grave, and can then target the same number of effect monsters controlled by the opponent. Those monsters have their attack points cut in half, and have their effects negated until the end of the turn. The opponent also can't activate cards of the same type as those that were sacrificed, meaning that Mai could lock out all effects for the turn if she discards a monster, a spell, and a trap card. Quill Pen of Goidos returns a wind monster on the user's field to the hand in exchange for shuffling 2 wind monsters in the graveyard back into the deck, which combos well with Divine Wind of Mist Valley, or works as a standalone recovery card. Swallow's Nest tributes a winged beast monster to special summon another one of the same level from the deck. And our last spell card, Ties of the Brethren, can be used to special summon 2 monsters with the same type, attribute, and level as one that's already on the field, so long as all the monsters have different names. This card costs 2,000 life points, and the owner cannot conduct their battle phase in the same turn that it's activated. And that brings us to our traps. We have some more direct Harpy support, with cards like Harpy Lady Elegance, Harpy's Feather Storm, and Hysteric Party. Harpy Lady Elegance allows its owner to shuffle a Harpy Lady Sisters card on the field into the deck, in order to special summon 3 Harpy monsters with different names, so long as 1 comes from the hand, 1 comes from the deck, and 1 comes from the grave. The user can only special summon wind monsters for the rest of the turn. Now, if Mai uses one of her own Harpy cards to destroy this trap, she can then add a Harpy from the deck to the hand. Feather Storm negates the effects of an enemy monster if the owner has a wind-winged beast monster on the field. If the owner controls a Harpy, this card can be activated from the hand, and if it's destroyed by an opponent's card effect, Mai can add Harpy's Feather Duster to the hand. And Hysteric Party can be used to add Elegant Egotist to the hand when it's played, and to add 3 Harpies with different names to the hand when it's destroyed. We're also going to see the return of a prominent card from Mai's duel with Yugi, the Mirror Wall, a continuous trap which halves the attacks of any monsters in exchange for 2,000 life points each turn. Kind of a high price, but necessary in a deck like this that runs such low attack strength monsters. However, this cost can be reduced by comboing with Life Absorbing Machine, which restores half of any paid life points from the previous turn. Given the number of cards that Mai has that change their name to become Harpy Lady, Aqua Chorus is a no-brainer of a card, as it boosts the attack of monsters with the same name by 500 points. Icarus Attack sacrifices 1 Winged Beast monster to destroy 2 cards on the field. Phoenix Wind Blast can be used to return a card on the opponent's field to the top of the deck in exchange for 1 card in the hand. Skill Prisoner allows the player to protect one of their monster cards from targeting effects 2 times, once when it activates, and 1 more time when it's in the graveyard. And 3 of a Kind, which I kind of wish I had run in my Zane Truesdale deck profile, can destroy 3 cards on the opponent's field if the owner controls 3 monsters with the same name. And that does it for both our trap cards and the main deck of this profile. Now, some of you may have already noticed that this deck profile is a bit imbalanced when it comes to the number of spells and traps versus monster cards. And that's because I typically don't like to run multiple copies of the same card in these anime-inspired, non-competitive deck profiles, unless there's a specific reason to, since characters on the show tend to favor variety over strategic redundancy. But the Harpy archetype is sort of designed to run multiple copies of cards, so we're going to include those duplicates in the side deck. To that end, we'll include 2 additional copies of Harpy Lady Sisters, since this deck can be used in a way that plays Elegant Egotist more than once per duel. We'll also include 2 copies of Harpy Channeler to facilitate Xyz summoning. Then, for effect variety, we'll add an extra copy of Harpy Dancer, Harpy Harpist, Harpy Oracle, Harpy Perfumer, and Harpy Queen. I'm also going to include 3 copies of the original Harpy Lady and 3 copies of the more powerful Cyber Harpy Lady. These may not be the best cards anymore, but I just don't see Mai getting rid of her signature card altogether. But if you're not so hot on the idea of keeping the original Harpy Ladies around, since they really aren't the best by today's standards, you could swap any of these 6 cards out for a 3rd copy of any of the other Effect Harpy Lady cards. Your call on that one. And that brings us to our extra deck, which is going to consist of 3 copies of 3 cards. Harpy Conductor is a Link 2 monster that requires 2 wind monsters to be summoned. Its name becomes Harpy Lady when it's on the field, and it has 2 activatable effects. The first allows Mai to destroy a spell or trap on her field to protect a Harpy from being destroyed by battle or by card effect. If a face-up Harpy on her field is returned to the hand, Conductor can be used to return an enemy special summon monster to the hand as well. Cyber / Harpy Lady is a level 8 Synchro monster, who can use a Harpy monster in lieu of a tuner monster when it's being summoned. Its name also becomes Harpy Lady when it's on the field, and when a spell or trap is activated, this card can return an enemy monster or another Harpy on its owner's side of the field to the hand. And last but not least, we have Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, which can attack the opponent directly while also preventing them from targeting Harpy monsters with effects or attacks. This card automatically detaches 1 Xyz material every turn and cannot use any of its effects once it runs out. And that wraps out this VRAINS era deck profile for this lovely lady. But what do you guys think? Does this deck suit everybody's favorite Valentine? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this kind of video, let me know what other characters you'd like to see new deck profiles for. Hit the subscribe button so you get to see new videos as soon as they come out, and feel free to hit me up on Twitter or on Reddit. Everybody stay safe and stay healthy, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!